Everybody.
It is. It's time for the triple HHH updates and topics to discuss about our community. And as always, I keep the camera sizzling. And today, we have a special guest, my beloved Papa. Should we hold on to legacy when it's not economically sustainable?
Y'all should come on out. Listen to the live band at Paris Blues. Paris will inherit this. Carry on.
Oh, thank you for those hearts.
Here go another hungry agent. Y'all can come out here tonight. Get off Facebook for a few hours while Paris and me prepare the free food. Since the beginning, you can eat from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. Ain't got to buy a drink if you're hungry. And
back to the question I posed earlier.
And hell yeah, we hold and keep family business through hard work.
But times are different. We are globally connected forever and can be anywhere and move often.
The only thing that moves around here is our age.
Okay, time to go. Please check out my link, Harlem's Identity Shift and Maintaining History. Check out my site, www.hhhh.com. And as always, I keep the cameras sizzling. Thanks for coming.
Sign the contract. The money is yours and the property is ours.
Hell no. Paris Blues ain't for sale. Being a little down don't mean it's the end. It ain't the first time, and hell yes, we shall overcome.
Pop, you said you'd be open to this.
I said I would be open to a solution.
This is the solution. Foreclosure is serious, Pop. Free food, cheap drinks, non-paying customer friends, and an aging crowd do not pay the bills or increase profits. Please, just accept Diane's offer. We can trademark it or brand it and build it on my various social media platforms and carry the legacy by merging it with my audience. I will help to strategize by creating a clear and strategic plan so that we can monetize without having the financial pressures of having to sustain a physical space.
We can all win, Sam. I mean, Paris's idea is very, very smart.
Mr. Sam Johnson, young lady. And Paris Blues will never be for sale. Ciao.
Isn't it safer to save it? I mean, I'm representing for us and helping our people. Schwartz and Associates can assist before you go into foreclosure. This is our final offering.
This offer is on the table until 8 p.m. tonight. Prevention is better than intervention.
Can you come back around 3? I need a few hours to convince him.
All right, make it happen.
All right, everybody, welcome to Theater Talk Live, Agape Theater Project, and we've got a special treat for you tonight or this afternoon with my co-host Andre Minkins and the incomparable Michele Baldwin. Good afternoon, Michele. Say hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone. How are you? Blessings.
Filmmaker, actress, singer, theater person. God, you do everything. So, but let's talk about Paris Blues in Harlem. How you got into that project, and tell us all about it, because we know that the lead actor passed away. I don't even think he got to see it, did he?
He did not get to see it. So,
right.
Yeah, we had our premiere was November or December, and he passed December 8th. I think it was in November.
Right.
Yeah, and he might have gotten to see a little bit, but he was sick, so I don't really know much.
Mr. Weldon was, Brother Weldon was a definite mentor, and I used to love to see him in the summer times when he would come to the theater festival, and we would talk a little bit. So I'm glad I had a chance to see him that last time too, that he was at the festival.
The year before we go, well, every 2 years, but before this screened at the festival. But and it was like from the beginning when I read the script, I kept saying, this is the actor for this role. And initially Nadesh had wanted some other actors, and so we tried, but I was like, yo, this is your papa.
Right.
And then she's like, okay, and we put him in. He not only was he exuded Sam. He fit his clothes perfectly. So from a wardrobe perspective and a line producer perspective, we was like, yes, $6 for the cleaners versus buying a whole wardrobe with the, the shoes, the clothes, the hat, everything. Like it was meant to be. It was just divinely meant to be that he would be that character. And he just, when he put that suit on and he walked out, we were like, oh my God, this is Sam. Like nobody could be, this is Sam.
This was
and he looks nothing like the real Sam. It's just, he embodied him, as an actor. So it's so important to live somebody else's life, to live it and be it. And he did that.
Tell us about the story, though. The story of Paris Blues in Harlem.
The story is about a young woman, Paris, who is just not really interested in legacy and taking on the family business per se, or the family legacy. She has her own, goals and dreams and things that she wants to do. And the grandfather is basically kind of an adaptation of the real Sam, where people come in, they eat for free. Like they really do eat for free. He takes care of people. He pays people's bills. He just is this was because he passed as well, this loving spirit and soul that, it's like, okay, if I was his grandfather, if I was his granddaughter, how would I be? And she just was like, I am not trying to be part of this. Like let's sell this. It's worth this much money. Let's get out of here. And so that's the story of Paris Blues, because it's Paris Blues. It's Paris Blues, right? She's having her blues about wanting to live her own life. And so that is that's just such a story that lives in our society, that our children do not want to take on a legacy,
Right.
especially a legacy that's a burden, and they don't see the value of what that legacy really means. They're just like, you know what, let's just get rid of this. And so
Get the money.
yeah, get the money. And she's like, listen, to get the money, I could go do me. I don't have to be coming up in here with these old folks and the dance, like the whole craziness of what's going on in the bar. I could walk away from this. So yeah, that's the story of Paris Blues and her journey and her struggle to fight against legacy versus her own selfish needs of wanting to live her own life. And then, of course, my character is the temptress that says, yeah, girl, you could get up out of this place for money from the Jewish people in the suitcase, like those suitcases of money, because they really do walk around. People don't know this, but some of them really do walk around with cash on their being, because it's like, they want to take your legacy and do what they want to do with it. And it's like, no. So yeah, and so my character is this catalyst to try to tempt her to, come on, girl, here it is. You want out. Get your grandfather to sign that piece of paper. Come on. So yeah. Every good story, the protagonist has what they want, and you got to have
that's right,
the antagonist to be, like keep stopping them or helping them. I don't know, because I kind of was like the antagonist, but I was not, because I was actually helping her to try to get her dreams and her goals.
So who wrote this piece?
Nadesh wrote the piece. Nadesh wrote the piece. I think originally it was going to be one other story, and then when you write, it takes on its own life. And so as she was writing, it took on the life of the life about the actual grandfather. What would happen if? That's as writers, that's what you do. You're like, well, what if, or if I do this, or if I do that, or if the character does this, or the character does this, what's going to happen? So yeah, that was this is Nadesh's story.
Okay. Good.
And it's not, the only thing that's truthful is that Paris Blues exists and Sam exists, but there is no real granddaughter. But we know in the real world that there is the legacy fight, and there is the stealing of your assets and of your legacy.
Right. And it was produced by PBS, or produced for PBS, right?
Well, no, it's just PBS, and just like with the festivals, you submit to PBS, you submit to different festivals and stuff. So they took it into their festival, and then of course it comes onto their varying networks. So that's how PBS acquired it, was in the submission of it for their platform.
Yes, how can people see it today? And
Still PBS, it's where you just found it on it's all on. There's like so many PBS channels. There's YouTube. No, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, I guess some of the PBS.
Yeah, I got it off YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. If you would like to support filmmakers, independent filmmakers, and you've got the money, there's Amazon Prime that we are on for you to snatch, and it's on a couple of other cable networks. So if you have those varying cable channels, you could obviously watch it because you pay a subscription. But your purchase or your download via Amazon Prime helps support artists.
That's right.
So we always need some type of support. So ideally, we'd love for you to go there. But if your pockets are thin and you can't, then watch it and share it, because that's a form of supporting the artist. So we would love that.
Awesome.
And you're involved in so many projects. Tell us what you're doing now. What you're involved in.
Oh gosh. I just, I'm in the middle of another film that I produced prior to this film. Steps is on VOD on Amazon, Apple TV, Vudu, Google Play. We are just we were Dove approved, which is a hard thing to do for a film, which means the religious organizations deem us or deem our film viewable by 12 plus and older because of the content. It's non-threatening. It's for
Mhm.
it has methods. It has messages that align with the Christian
Yes.
mission. So we're so happy that we got a Dove Laurel. We will be actually streaming exclusively on the Dove channel. So you can currently now get it on Amazon, same as the other film, Amazon, Apple TV. It's called Steps. It's a beautiful story about forgiveness, redemption, love. Yeah. And just to give you an idea, just imagine getting shot, your life spiraling down, and on the uprise, you become a home health care worker, and your first real patient is the person who has shot you.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah.
What a story.
Yeah.
So that's that story that you have to kind of it takes you on this serious roller coaster ride of crying, laughing, joy.
Yeah, I love those.
It's really, really good. Another good story. I'm in post-production with a documentary that I started. Well, it started as a film in 2009, I believe. Yeah, 2009 or 2010. And so I had this notion, long ago, just always been an innovative person. So I was like, we got to do our own damn things. We got to make our own
That's right.
films and our own damn movies and our own damn whatever. So yeah, like I was like, and you forget because you start these missions and you're like, oh my God, I forgot like 2000, like 10, 12 years ago, I actually was like the initiator of this roller coaster ride to do your own thing. And so we had some issues. We had people drop out. We had people start and drop out because they just couldn't, I don't know, whatever the reason why, but they're not there. And so, and our DP, he had some challenges. And so when we get the footage, I'm like, there's some issues. We have some challenges. There's some things that aren't shot. And I am a fighter in that I am never going to like quit. So I kept saying, well, what could I do with this footage? Everybody worked hard. The set designer, the different departments were there to work. I mean, we all collaboratively worked together to make this piece. And even though we don't have cohesive footage, I was like, what could we do? So in lies the documentary. So the film shifts from Cupid's Dilemma to Somewhere Between Heaven and Earth, about the actors who set out to make a film, a drama film, but they still made a film, but it's a documentary. And so we have Heaven and Earth, and the message and the thematic messages in the actual film, the original film, they speak to today. It was a film that I wrote, and in bringing it to my friends to say, hey, let's make our own movie, I was like, well, here's a script, let's bounce off of this. And so it was really about what would happen if Cupid fell off of his job and the world would go awry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that, I can't wait till I'm working on that right now.
So you wrote this?
I wrote the bigger script.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, about heaven. And then, well, I wrote the entire script, but in being an innovative person, I wanted my actors and I wanted to empower my actors at the time. So I told them, I'm going to take all the human lives out, and those that aren't playing heaveners, you're going to write your own story. You're going to be your own producer. You're going to be your own set look. You're going to find out what it entails to make a movie, because it's not easy. And it was hard. It was struggle for some of them, because they were, and like I said, some people dropped out because they couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle the whole process. It was huge. Right. And so 5 of us at the end, 5 human beings wrote, and it was all women, wrote their own story. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So that's a project I'm super, super duper proud of, and can't wait for that, as we're working on that, getting that out to the world. And so that's what we're doing. And then in the midst of COVID, again, I was like, there's no way theater and acting is going to just stop because of some darn.
Right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Rebirth, An Actor's Life, the series, which is was the initial show about the actors living their own dreams and doing their own things and making a way for themselves. And then Snack Sip and Show, which is a online script reading series that came out of this head. I don't know why, but it came out of the head. And I called up some friends and I'm like, you guys want to do this? Because it's COVID. We ain't doing nothing. And they're like, yeah. And so that's still going, those projects. And been working with NEC and National Black Theater and not National Black Theater, New Federal Theater.
Yes.
And Black Spectrum. So I've been doing a lot of work with those three icons. And so just keeping busy.
I see. And you're directing this film too? And producing it?
Yeah, directing, producing. I mean, I stepped on the other side of the camera like 12, 13 years ago, directing. Like I knew nothing. I went and studied online, like how to be a director and all the things that needed to be a film director. And I was like, all right, let's go.
Right.
There you go. Because it's a big difference from a theater director to a film director, even to a TV director.
It is.
And I've done all three. I mean, yeah. So
yeah, it is. It is. So you would be great for Snack Sip and Show, because one of the things that I was having challenges with my directors is that they didn't understand the medium of the Zoom medium.
Right.
And they were going direct. And, they were like taking it on as if it was, I'm in the theater. And I'm like, no, you've got to be what you just said. I've got to be a cross between a theater, film, and TV director to direct the actors in this box.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was a challenge in the beginning, but because I have so many playwright friends who wanted to have their scripts developed during this COVID time, at least it was a good time to do readings. And then we went from readings to going, what happens if we move it a little bit, push the envelope a little bit more and make it more interactive, more action. And that hybrid, I don't think it's going to go away. The Zoom hybrid and the theater hybrid, I think it's a great way of getting people together. It's a good way to develop scripts cheaply so that when you really want to produce it, you already have it, have a copy of something to look at, So is that your goal once COVID ends, is to really get out there then and begin to do the festivals with the films, but also create some more productions?
Continuously creating. I mean, if I showed you my folio of work projects that are in the works, it's crazy. And it's a matter of like getting money and getting bodies to get it done, to keep myself and my fellow actors and creatives, directors, whoever, just busy.
Get them paid, girl.
Yeah, I just love being a creative being. I love creating things. So I'm always, continuously like not just creating it, but also like, how do I get it done? What do I need to get it done? So yeah, when this is over, we're still gonna be in this box creating.
That's right.
Because I'm now I'll send you guys a link to Snack Sip and Show, but I'm also like, okay, what's the next level of this box?
Yeah.
How do I continue to create in this box? Because guess what? Some folks love like, oh, I'm home. I'm just at home. But you're going to want to have the live interaction and there's just nothing like A, being on stage, and B, just being able to create a life, whether it's in front of a camera or on stage. It's just, there's no feeling like that. And there's no feeling that you'll ever get collaborating and working with other people and being around to, smell each other's energy, feel each other's energy.
It's almost like burping a baby when the product comes out and it does everything you want it to do. It tells the story, and the actors are all in character. Oh, it's something beautiful.
And then the audience responds in such a way that you just you're
Yeah.
glad that you did it, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It's like, so I think the picture that you might have talked about before we came on camera, I was at the theater, and there was another film that was more, it had like more like name talent in it, so to speak. And it was very typical Black film, with that stuff I'm talking about.
Right.
All of that,
Right.
drugs and everything. And so our film probably would be considered corny in that sense because it is very clean and it's just a story. So the mayor of Newark had come down, and they were like, oh, you got to come. They wanted him to come to this movie because it was like gangsta, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, listen, I dare you, and I bet you $20 if you come see my movie that you would cry. And so he said, well, I only got 20 minutes, and I'm only going to stay 20 minutes. Mayor Ryan, shout out to you. So he comes into the theater. He starts watching the film, and he's sitting there. And then he gets up, and I said, oh, so you're leaving? You got to wait for the cry scene so I can get my $20. He said, I'm not leaving. I'm going to the bathroom to get some popcorn. This is a good movie. He stayed for the entire film. He stayed, and he gave us a testimonial at the end. So but that picture that you're talking about was that reward to just stand there and see something that you've created and feel the energy from the room and the people watching it and just reacting in a way that you're like, okay, yes, the hard work was worth it. The journey was worth it. The story, like as an independent filmmaker, that is like the most rewarding thing, is to just stand at the back of the theater and just feel the energy and hear the love of what you do.
Yeah. Like I directed Blues for Alabama Sky, and it was a student playing the lead role. And the very last scene in the play is the young lady coming down and looking at the audience saying, oh, well, and not saying a word, but you have to do it with, my boyfriend got killed, I aborted a baby, everybody's gone, so what?
Right.
And she hit it. She hit it the last time, and the audience just, because it's that look. You really, what they say, acting is believing. If you believe it, then you can make other people believe.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
I just want to say real quick, there's two people in the chat that says hi. One was Eureka Lewis.
Hey, beautiful Eureka. She's a fabulous writer. I got to play a character in one of hers in the 5-minute play. So hi, gorgeous.
And also Edith Berry. She said hi too.
Oh, the beautiful Edith. She's another fabulous actress. Well, we say actor because you won't call a lawyer a lawyerette. So we're all actors. But Edith is another fabulous, fabulous actor, and she also is a beautiful spirit. We also met her at the at the festival the same time that I met you. That same yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and she's just fabulous. So kisses, lady, beautiful. My beautiful sisters out there.
So tell us who some of your mentors are, or some people you admire to get to where you are today.
Woo! My grandmother. My grandmother, very strong, loving spirit, half Indian. So you got
the Indian look today,
yeah. Just no, like, just no holds bar, and she was maybe again also before her time, because she would tell me stuff like, you don't have to take this and you don't have to do, like, she would just say this stuff and I was like, okay, well, I'm 12 and I'm gonna take this to as my adulthood, and I'm gonna be this type of person. So she was a very, very strong woman. And even in the ugliness of probably her life of having to, I mean, my grandmother had to literally take on all of her grandkids. at a time when she should have been living her best life.
Right.
Wow.
She did that with just such grace and humanity, and she just did it, and she didn't regret it, and she didn't make us feel that we were the burden. Like, we knew that she loved us, and as an adult, I got to see the sacrifice that she made for me to be where I am and who I am. My stepmom, who I lost the beginning of last year in March, just before the whole COVID thing came, I'm a product of a mother who left her children. So, and being at the bottom of the totem pole, I was like, I probably said, "Oh, I don't need a mom. I don't need this or whatever." But I needed a mom because my grandmother was my grandmother. And this woman came into my dad's life, and she wanted me, and she loved me, and she,
Oh.
you know, like, up until last year, I was her baby. I didn't come out of her, but you couldn't tell her that I didn't come out.
Right. That's special.
Awesome.
Yeah, so just strong women of color that have been, that's been it for me, real people. You know, people look at celebrities and things of that nature for, get it, love it, it's all good, but real women, real life. And so even women around me that have been in my circle, that they don't know it, whether they stay or they leave, they've inspired me, or they've been a gift to me. So whether they push me to work harder, push me to continue to inspire other women, to inspire children, to inspire the world, because I feel like I've always known that was my gift, was to inspire other people. And so that's kind of like how I've lived my life, like pretty much since I'm like 16 years old. I knew that was my gift, to be an inspirer. And so I've always lived my life and continue to live my life being an inspirer, even with my projects, even with Nadesh came to me and was like, "Girl, I've been a mama. I don't know nothing about no film. I want to make a film." I'm like, "Girl, I got you. Let's go. What are you trying to make?"
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
So,
And my students come up to me and say, "Professor Hinton, why are you so passionate? Why you?" But you know, that's the way we think of our lives, right?
Yeah.
We go from stage to film to real life, but we're still passionate, and I love it.
yeah, I mean, without our passion, because you can't chase this for the money,
No.
That's right.
because then you become desperate, and then you fail.
Yeah.
You have to do this for the passion. You have to have the love. You know, the money and all the other accolades, they will come when you do this through passion. Like, even when the world shut down last year, I was like, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna get paid, but my passion in creating Snack, Sip, and Show, and rebirthing An Actor's Life series, and mastering Zoom and mastering StreamYard, I started getting jobs. So I've stayed gainfully employed just through this, being a new technical director, which, like we talked about, Ken, you have to be a stage, theater, Zoom box director.
That's right.
Yeah. You have to reinvent yourself as things happen. Yeah.
You gotta continue to reinvent yourself. And we as creatives, I just think we save the world, and we get, even though we, you know, like the creative arts and folks in the cultural arts were the first to lose jobs when Broadway shut down, when the film industry, billions of dollars lost. It was more than, you know, the actor. It's the box office, the stagehand, the designer, the lighter. Everybody lost income.
Yeah.
But our art, our craft, is what keeps the world moving and positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't stop.
That's right.
That, you know, my sister says this all the time. You have to be able to fall back on your skills, right? You can't always, you know, go to work for somebody. You might have to create something where you create some jobs, you know?
Exactly. And that's the other thing that I love, is that in my creativity, that I'm always creating a job or a skill set for somebody else to learn.
Yeah.
But tell us about the snack program that you am I saying it right?
I dare you to say it because it is a tongue twister. And as an actor,
Okay.
snack, sip, and show. Snack,
Sip.
sip,
Snack,
and show.
sip, and show. There you
Oh,
go.
snack,
Snack, sip, and show.
Snack, sip, and
and show.
sip, and show. Snack, sip, and show. Snack, sip, and show. Snack, sip, and show.
Okay, you got it.
Snack. I got it. Snack, script, and show.
Sip,
Sip,
sip.
sip.
Some eating, some
Okay.
snacking.
Sip, sip,
And
snack.
Yeah, you got
And show.
your wine, your whatever, your water. Like I always do water because I'm always a technical person, so I can't sip. Everybody like wine, and they're drinking their little cognac martinis, and I'm like,
Okay.
like,
So
okay,
one more time. Snack,
Mm-hmm.
sip
sip,
and show.
and show.
Snack.
And what's the acronym? What do you call it?
SSS.
Okay.
SSS. Snack, sip, and show. We'll save you all the time.
Got it.
But that is a stylized scripted reading series on Facebook and on YouTube.
Okay.
I've seen it. I think I've seen it once or twice.
I've seen it once.
You saw it? Oh, good. Which episode did you watch? What show did you see? And
I think it was the last one when you sent me the email.
Okay, was with the guy and the girl.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, that was the last one. That was written by Lisa McCree. I know you.
Lisa. Okay.
Yeah, that's Lisa Anna B with her crazy. Had me playing some crazy character because she writes crazy characters. I love her. But yeah, that we did like 4 episodes, and so we're circling back in to do that now.
Okay.
Get another. So welcome. Like if you guys want to direct something,
Okay.
Okay.
let us know.
Yeah,
New game.
I love to.
And if you have, and for anyone out there, if you have scripts, 45 pages or less, 1X, 10 page, 10 short 5 or 10 page scripts that don't have a lot of characters, submit them to right now, Michele 1L Baldwin Enterprises at gmail.com, and the reading crew will evaluate it and send you back a notice if you're going to be selected to have your play read on the Snack Sip and Show's next show.
Excellent. So you guys have your own set of actors. Are there any actors that want to join your crew?
Same thing. They should, if you want to be an actor on Snack Sip and Show, be in our database, send an email to Michele 1L Baldwin Enterprises at gmail.com. We're revamping stuff. We've been doing some stuff since revamping since December, but folks were sick and death and all that stuff. So, things have been on hold, but definitely in gear, or have been getting back in gear to jump back into the mix. So if you are an actor, writer, director, or want to be a director, and you think you want to try directing in the Zoom room, can you boom in the Zoom room?
That's right.
We want to hear from you. Yeah, we'll want to hear from you if you want to.
Look at this resume, y'all. You can go on to her website and just see her resume, but it's so extensive. You can go to michelebaldwin.com and see her resume. So we want to talk about you, a SAG-AFTRA actress.
Yes.
And you've been on, I was going to have One Life to Live. You've been on Frenemies, Wicked Attraction, Nevada, Song of the South. You've done theater. God, you've done so much theater. And now films. Look how many films you've done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't even count them all. To talk about your training, how did you get to be such? Because some people would say you're a celebrity yourself.
What? Some people say what?
You are a celebrity yourself.
Oh, I love you for that. Just
training.
training is important to me. So even after having, you know, been a producer, a director, and a writer, you know, and continuing to write over these 10, 12 years, I was like, okay, I'm jumping back in to claim being an actor first. Well, the first thing I said is, okay, if this instrument is not being exercised every day or utilized in the capacity for which I'm trying to use it, then what good am I, right? So I enrolled in an acting class that I take every Saturday morning from 11 a.m. till 4 in the afternoon. I'm online in an acting class doing what I'm supposed to do as an actor, is to train. So, you know, it's easy to say I'm an actor, but you don't take acting classes. I'm a director, but you don't learn, like you really don't know what it entails to be a director. You don't know what it entails to be a producer. Then people are like, oh, I just want the title. And it's okay. I'm a big advocate for, if you want to do it, do it. But I'm a bigger advocate for, do the work.
That's right.
Learn the craft. Don't be so excited to just jump up and say I'm a writer, producer, director, and you don't really know what it entails and you don't know what to do. Because I'm gonna tell you, on the other side of distribution, where you're looking at distribution for the money and not like, you know, we do our little independent films for notoriety or to be seen or to be discovered. But when you're trying to do this on the side of like, I want to make money, you have got to have your ducats in a row. You have got to have all the things done and in place to warrant to get paid.
Wow. Yeah.
And so with the acting classes, what methods or combination of methods are you guys studying or brushing up on?
It's from the perspective of Michael Shirtliff's The Audition, because it's really like an audition class and how to be. I love that it comes from a spiritual space. You know, Miguel Ruiz's 4 Agreements, Mastery of Love, because as actors, what are we doing, right? We're sharing, and it has to come from a place of love. I just believe no matter what you do, that's just as a human being, no matter what you do in life, it has to come from a place of love. Even if it's your enemy, it has to come from a place of love. So it's based upon those principles. And it's not saying love like, you know, be all your roles is melancholy, because, you know, they just can't be, right? But in order to to get to those places, you have to be tapped into here. And we every Saturday, you know, I mean, I do it every day now, because now that I'm back into that mode, you have to exercise your voice, your breath, and your body. And so you read and learn and learn how to be. So you've got actors that are like, oh yeah, I'm an actor, and they read good.
Right.
We were talking, Ken, it's like, well, who's the character?
Right.
Who are they? Like, I don't feel them. If I don't feel them and I don't believe them.
Right.
Right. What's the point? Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't believe it, how you gonna make me believe?
If you don't believe, how you gonna make me believe? So, but yeah, Tom Tutteruff Studios is a really good, and they actually have a conservatory that they're gonna start doing online too. But I studied there. I studied at Primary Stages. I studied at Rutgers University. But now I do, and again, I've studied different techniques, but I just find that this one kind of works for me because it's in line to my spirituality. It's in line to being a human being. It's it just is about being. As we talked about, whatever profession, whatever title you claim, you need to do the work to have the skill set and the professionalism to really do your job because you could lie to yourself, but when you get out in the real world and you can't, what are you gonna do?
That's
yeah.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
based out of New York, New Jersey. Have you ever done Los Angeles? Now, worked
I,
out.
I've gone to LA. I mean, as an actor, you go,
Right.
you need to go, like Atlanta, Connecticut, Boston, Philly, wherever. You know, you do what you have to do. Um,
Yeah.
last year, I was supposed to go before the pandemic. I was supposed to go to Cape Town, and
Okay.
so you do what you got to do.
yeah.
Mhm.
So now, switching gears a little bit, tell us on the producing side. I was noticing there are line directors, there are line producers, associate producers, executive producers. For those out there who are listening, what are the differences in those producing titles and their responsibilities? If you know, just in a nutshell.
Executive producer can be anyone from the giving the money, getting the money, giving their name for the notoriety to get eyeballs on the project. So that's executive producer. Securing like super name talent. That's so in the bigger world, I should say, in the Hollywood world, that's executive producer. On an independent level, an
Right.
executive producer could take on some other, other hats. It takes on other hats, but generally, those are the tasks that an EP would do in the big picture. Producer could be responsible for any number of things. They could be responsible again for talent, for crew, securing the crew, helping to secure the crew, making sure, as I say, produce, making sure things happen. That's
Right.
the generic producer. Associate producers are generally vanity or throwaway credits that you give to people that help some way in the film. Because again, there's that balance between the big world and the little, and I shouldn't say little because independent world is big too. And
Right.
That's right.
we're huge. In the independent world, we're huge. But associate producer could be Ken gave me his school for the weekend shoot. Hey, get your AP credit. So gave me the restaurant. So and so gave food. So you can associate producers that credit that you pick and choose for what you might need, what the film needs, and somebody can give it to you, and they feel good about having an AP credit or a producer credit.
Okay.
Line producer, which predominantly I'm usually either a line producer and the lead producer or both. So, and the lead producer just basically kind of oversees all, like even the EP doesn't do what the lead and the line producer does because it's like they don't know or they're relying on somebody else to get this done. So the line producer is responsible for the budget, making sure that contracts and agreements and all that stuff is taken care of and is followed. And so I love, and it gives the Nadeja always makes me laugh because she says, well, listen, when they were asking me for money, I was like, they need to talk to you. I was like, yeah, tell them to call me.
That's right.
This is the budget. This is what you're getting. Are you on or are you not on?
There you go. Right.
It gives that producer, the executive producer, the option to say, listen, I'm not going to be the bad guy. Let me do. So the line producer is the bad guy sometimes.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Right.
So those are the varying producer roles. And again, independent, it's whatever your film needs.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for breaking that down because I know I hear a lot of young people who are jumping into the film world and they want to really get their films done and get them seen, get them in the festivals, and they just don't understand the whole organization sometimes. And
That's right.
that was the perfect way of describing those differences between those producers. So kudos. And then as far as directing, when do you have the time to direct? What what do you like about directing, and when do you find the time to direct?
Well, directing is such, and I'm not speaking to somebody who doesn't know, because I know you two know. It is
Right.
a very involved process.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So for me, I take on directing roles. Well, before I would be like, yeah, let's go. And
Yeah, right.
I had my book, and I got, like all the storyboard, like the whole, like my, like this, I'm ready. Like, okay, this is what's supposed to happen. This is the theme that I want for this scene. This is the
Right.
look. This is so, because and this is the thing that a lot of independent directors don't know. You are responsible for that project
That's
from
right.
soup, start
Beginning
to
to
nothing.
end.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't. I've been on projects with directors have just completely checked out, and I'm like, dude, we're like,
Right.
I'm doing your job.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, as a director, when I take on those roles, I have to make sure that my schedule allows me to give the project all that it needs, because I am not going to take it and have, the
Mhm.
directing job, because it is such a critical and important job. You are responsible for the look, the feel, the general emotion of the film, each scene. You're responsible. Then that's another thing. The director's not responsible for the crew, because you have your unit production manager, or your or your set manager that would be able to help manage all those different positions and talk between the director, the AD, or the first AD, the second AD, and the UPM, having this collaboration. So you also have to be a flexible, collaborative person. And as a director, I like to allow people to grow, to learn, and have fun, but
Right.
we have a job to do. And
That's
so
right.
you're the leader of the ship. So I don't do it a lot lately because I have so much going on.
Yeah.
But when I do it, I make sure that I have the time to dedicate to give the piece what it needs. And so there's some directing stuff coming up soon.
Oh, good. Good. Good.
Okay, well, let me throw this at you. You wrote, I love this. It's on one of your websites. I love the art of performance and the gift of storytelling. I love when people tell me no, or you can't do it. I love proving them wrong. Tell me about your philosophy.
Uh, well, I've been saying this since forever. One monkey doesn't stop a show.
Okay.
So, and when, I love when people say, like, oh, are you still acting? Are you still doing? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm confused. I'm an artist. I'm a
Right.
artist. So what do you mean? Am I still? And I love when they say, oh, you can't do that. You really?
Oh.
Right.
Okay. I'm just going to get
Right.
up and I'm going to walk away right now. And I'm not going to say anything. And when I come back,
It's done.
it's done.
Yeah.
So it could come from, like, as you get older, you start self-analyzing yourself, and you're like, how did I do this way? And what made me this way? And I do, at one time I didn't think that not having or being abandoned by a mom, I was like, okay, that doesn't affect me because I'm strong. I don't need her, blah, 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 blah. But I learned that instead of woe is me sitting on a pity pot, which I never did, I was fueled by that. Like, oh, you don't love me? So I'm just going to do what I need to do in the world to be who I am and whatever. And so, oh, you don't like this, or you think, okay, I'm just still going to do what I'm going to do. And so I just always just believe that when people tell you no, that's just the fuel and the coal that you need to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
So so that's where that came from, because I really do. I love, like, it's almost like I dare you to tell me no. I just I'm waiting because I'm ready to run.
So now as a writer, what inspires you? What stories do you like to tell? Do do you wake up at 4 a.m. with an idea, or you're observing the whole while and then you decide, oh, that'd make a good story? I mean, or is it a combination of all of that?
So I have a mind that is a curse and a gift.
Hmm.
Always, always, always some ideas are here.
Okay.
Then, so what I learned to do was I took a recorder and I have a notepad and I write these ideas or things down. And then I analyze and say, is this a story that I want to tell? Like for me, I love witty, strong, inspiring warrior kind of women. I feel like I just think in another life I was like, I love cuff bracelets. Shout out to Divine Cosmic Creations. Isn't this beautiful?
All right.
I don't know if you're out listening, but this bracelet was made. I believe, because I, in a spiritual sense, and I don't share this, and I'm sharing all this crazy stuff with you guys. So
All right.
I was in a voice breath class where they take you down, like, and you have to, like, whatever. But so I go into this world that is very familiar to me, and it sounds crazy, but I swear in another life I was some type of warrior fighting princess.
Wow.
I always wear cuff bracelets. When I went down into this, the first time it happened to me, like 15 years ago, and I always had this dream, and I still continue to have this dream, where I spoke another language. I had my cuffs. I was a fighter. And so that is the spirit that, like, all my characters that I write, they are strong, witty, fighting, feisty kind of women. And those are the stories that I've been writing. And so one of the stories that I've been dying to get out, but I had put to the side because I get caught up in helping all my friends and doing all their projects. And I was like, okay, girl, like, come on now, let's go. So
Right.
I had to get back to some of my stories, because there are some stories that I did, my first film I did it on a flip camera. That was a really beautiful story. It was about the story of two different strangers living two different lives. They meet on a park bench and they change each other's lives. Like I like human stories, human inspiring, human touching kind of stories. Those are the kind of stories that I like to tell. Things that would be like inspirational. But yeah, so this next project that after Somewhere Between Heaven and Earth is in the mix of being edited, I'm going to be doing a story about a female veteran.
Okay.
And it's a very interesting, it's not a typical, it's not the typical story that's told. It's a situation that there's no light on right now. And I can't wait to tell it. And I love twists and turns. And when you think that I like writing those stories where you think, and then
Right.
2 seconds later, you're like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Plot reversals.
but
Yeah.
it all come from a human, realistic place, and it'll live its life how it lives its life.
Yeah. Well,
You big on social media. Talk to us about social media now, Michele.
Yeah.
I love that you say that about me. But I have a love-hate relationship with social media. So
Okay.
I just feel like there's so much unrealness in social media. And so you don't know what's real and what's not real, who's real and who's not real. And so I choose to just do this work, be this person who I am. And when I have a time to share, I'll share. And when I don't care, because we've gotten to this part in the society where now, as actors and as filmmakers, we should have this presence. But as actors, I find so many people are out here on social media. And I'm like, so when are you doing the work of an actor?
Right. Exactly.
When are you studying? When are you taking your breath lessons? When are you doing the work? Posting, I got booked. Well, that's your job.
Right.
Oh, I'm going on an audition.
Absolutely.
I'm going on an audition tomorrow. That's your job. You
Right.
have to audition. You have to do the work until it's time to get the work.
Have you studied for your audition?
I don't have time to post every little, like, I just don't. And I don't knock anybody for doing it. God bless you. I'm just not that girl. Like, I work with this filmmaker, like my first, probably the first feature film that I was in that I was actually asked to write on. This filmmaker used to tell me, baby girl, when I come out to play, I come out to play. Other than that, you won't see me. And I'm like, but that's so me. Cause like when I come out to play, I'm coming out to play. And all the stuff that's, I don't care. I just don't. I just, I almost feel like one day somebody's gonna be like, I'm on the toilet and I'm and you're like, no, that's TMI.
But yeah, it's very close to that now. What's happening? Yeah, and I'm not surprised that you can find that somewhere too, probably already.
Yeah, because it's just crazy. It's just like, and you could get so caught up in it that I choose not to. Like I just can't. I just can't be consumed by that world and Facebook with all the privacy. Like I'm just like I can't. It's just too much.
So now, do you have any scripts or plays that if there are any young people listening, or college professors listening, or anybody who might want to do the work, some of the work that you've written? How we find that? Or are we in about to do something like that so we can find your work?
You could always email me. I am as busy as I am. I always find time to make time for people, no matter how busy my schedule is. As you can see here, I was like, here, Kev, these are 5 days. Like, do what you need to do.
That's right.
I've always been fine. Because, people could get caught up into, I'm so busy. And I'm like, no, we're all busy. So you find time to do the things you want to do. You find time to do the things you want to do.
Right.
So you find the time. But, I have a lot of, if anybody wants to, produce something or, you just email me. I got some scripts. I even have some web series that I'm looking to, as you were saying, as the world opens up. I was in production to start shooting them last year, and we got shut down. So I'm hoping to get this one web series, which is basically similar to what we were talking about, social media and the craziness of social media. Yeah, it's like a cross between that and Twilight Zone.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah.
I put your email and your website in the chat. So
okay, cool.
Anybody want to access it is there.
Awesome. And again, if you guys want to do something and be on, Snack Sip and Show, reach out.
Okay.
I will.
Don't be shy to say, hey, I want to direct, or I want to, do something, because, we just need to get it done. But yeah, the show on my YouTube channel is Michele Baldwin. So it's youtube.com. It's user, I think YouTube goes user YouTube. It's Michele Baldwin. Michele Baldwin, and ENT. You'll find it probably quicker. Michele Baldwin ENT. You'll find it that way. Subscribe, like the content. Share. That's what we're supposed to do. I'll follow you back if you follow me. So that's
any final words for young actors trying to get into the business, or filmmakers,
or even older actors who found out during COVID that they want to get into this now?
That's right.
Get up and do it. Don't think about it. Don't question it. If it's in your heart and it's in your thought, then just do it. One of the things that we learned during this COVID time, because I don't know about you guys, but we had so many deaths between friends and family, it just became insurmountable. But I've always had this philosophy about death and losing people, whether young, old, whatever. If you don't get up to live the life that you want to live for yourself, you know, the life that this acting or this entertainment world, do it for the folks who you love who no longer can.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if you can't find a way to get up in the morning for Michelle or Andre or Ken, get up for your dad or your uncle or your so-and-so whose life was snuffed, or somebody's life who was taken way too soon or just without warning. And now you've got an opportunity to live your life for them, a life that they weren't able to live. But yeah, just, you got to do it. Like, you can sit on the fence. One of the other things that I teach my students, and of course I'll tell you what they told me that I should be saying, but I used to say, try on the suit. If you think that you want to do something, you want to direct, you want to write, you want to this, just do it. Try on that suit and say, am I a writer? Am I a director?
Right.
This suit doesn't fit, fine. So my students would say, Miss Michele, we don't wear suits because we're kids. Can you change it to try the meal? So try the meal.
Okay.
Meal of acting, the meal of directing, the meal of whatever it is. And when you try it and you find out that you love it, do everything in your power or within your reach to learn how to be the best at it.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
That's great. Great advice. Any final words, Andre?
No, it's a pleasure to be here as a
Yes.
co-host. It's a pleasure to see Michelle. I know we see each other in the summers during the theater festival. And occasionally we may have ended up in groups in the same rooms and hung out a little bit, but it's so glad to have this one-on-one time with you, and to the fact that we had you here today talking to us, gracing our radio podcast with your presence. Thank you so much for being here.
And you know what, Sylvia Hammond is going to be so thankful, because she knows that when we are at the festival, we make networking friends just like we have. She is so happy about that. You know, that's one of the reasons why she has the festival, is not only to show audiences, but to make these connections. So thank you so much, Michele. And we're going to end with a few more minutes of Paris and Harlem, and we're going to end the broadcast. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you to the audience that's listening and that will listen later on. Support Agape Theater Live. Support independent artists. Support as often as you can, because we will keep your world.
Right.
That's right.
Okay.
Paris Blues has been in the community since November 18th, 1969. Also, it serves as a safe haven and has supported many political fundraisers for candidates in Harlem. And look, everybody, here's Mr. Sam with his friend Rosa Parks. Alabama, bus, black people, Martin Luther King.
Oh, wonderful.
Michele. I left you a million messages.
Answer to Alabama Sam. Not a good place to talk.
Miss Shirley, thank you so much for your assistance. Pop only listens to you.
I'm just the day manager. I'm not the mediator.
Please, Miss Shirley, 2 voices are better than one. Please help him. Miss Shirley, tell Pop it's better to make
Shirley,
a profit.
tell
than
my
risk losing
grandbaby,
it.
you can't copy
Miss
a
Shirley,
place in
tell Pop
cyberspace.
old ways
Tell
of coaching
her
is not
the
viable.
musical and
Paris Blues can
historical
exist.
spirits
Miss
of
Shirley,
souls like
Miss
people
Shirley.
like Shirley.
Miss Shirley.
Shirley.
Why y'all leave me
me for? Why don't you just keep
Proceeds
answering the questions and pretend like I can answer them?
Please, Miss Shirley, this can really help us all.
Some wonderful memories and stories with this.
Trust your instincts, Paris. Emotions just get in the way.
Thank you, everybody, and we'll see y'all next time on Theater Talk Live.
Amen.
All right. Bye-bye. Yes, much love.
All right.